Good evening. Welcome to the Pearl Report. I'm Diana Lin. Hong Kong students usually excel in international assessments of competence in science and mathematics, but they're now said to be lagging behind in scientific and technological innovation. In 2015, the government introduced a special curriculum in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Producer Annie Lau examines how STEM is implemented here and whether it can help lift standards. Baptist Rainbow Primary School in Wong Tai Sin.
咁有冇人知道咩係 STEM 咧？係打出嘅。
STEM 係 science、technology、engineer 同埋 math。
Matthew Yu is in primary 4. After regular morning lessons, he and his classmates will work on a STEM project, applying their knowledge in those subjects to make a product that can be useful in their daily lives.
They've learnt in general studies what's air pollution. They say they want to make an environmentally friendly electric car based on the topic.
There's much carbon dioxide causing global warming. Because it runs on electricity, it's different from the old petrol-fueled cars. It won't emit carbon dioxide, so it can solve the problem of air pollution.
We believe that the next generation, the need for them is not to memorize everything, but there's some soft skills like communication skills, creativity skills, or problem-solving skills. So this is the key part of STEM.
STEM education was first mooted in the 2015 policy address.
The EDB will renew and enrich the curricula and learning activities of science, technology and mathematics and enhance the training of teachers, thereby allowing primary and secondary students to fully unleash their potential in innovation.
Currently, STEM is mainly promoted in primary and junior secondary schools. To be included in general studies lessons, or, like the Baptist Rainbow Primary School, teach STEM as an after-school class. The school divides students into 28 groups. Each has a year to finish its STEM project.
We're
making a sensor for PM 2.5 to sense the amount of suspended particles in the air.
To be installed in the car, the sensor would produce an air quality index. But the students haven't been able to make the sensor automatically send the index to be stored in the public cloud in 5 minutes. So they've created an app to share the index with other users.
This is their dream, for every car to have a tool like this to sense where the air quality is bad.
So people shouldn't go to such a place because if someone has asthma, the illness might break out.
To prepare for STEM lessons, the school requires primary 4 to 6 pupils to be taught computer lessons in programming and apps creation.
We want all our kids know how the computer works. If their mindset are solving problems by using STEM, it can help our society to face the future.
STEM was launched in the 1990s in the US, where STEM-related jobs are projected to increase 17% from 2008 to 2018, compared with 9.8% for non-STEM-related jobs. In Hong Kong, jobs in the innovation and technology industry is expected to rise by 20% from 2012 to 2022, compared with 24.7% in financial services and 25.96% in tourism.
Innovation and technology is a driver of new economy of the world. And over 93% of GDP is based on service industry, and I think definitely we need to change. We don't really have a job market for science and engineering students. because of manufacturing, which is really the major driver for science and engineering students, is only 1% of the GDP here in Hong Kong.
STEM nurtured talents that help us to build up an industry in innovation technology.
But it seems to be an uphill battle. Wang Chihua is a general studies teacher at Ho Ming Primary School in Tin Shui Wai. He gives a STEM lesson every Friday.
We're mainly making a plant watering prompter. If there's water in the plant, the light goes on. If there's no water, sounds are emitted to remind people to water the plant. I had difficulties because I don't have much knowledge in science and technology.
Teacher Wang studied physical education in university.
Less than 10% of the school teachers in Hong Kong are really STEM capable.
Actually, many primary school teachers study art subjects.
For a 1 hour STEM lesson, Wang says he spends 3 hours to prepare.
I have to prepare a lot of materials for the students to step-by-step learn to produce a thing, and I have to first produce it myself. It's a burden. A teacher doesn't only have to teach STEM, but other subjects such as maths or Chinese. Definitely affected.
Last year, Wang attended a government-run training workshop for STEM education.
It mostly dealt with how you can integrate STEM into the curriculum. Frontline teachers would want more plans on how to teach it and teaching materials.
This year, the government issued 5 resource packages for teachers to include STEM activities in general studies classes. Among those activities is making an electric motor, explained in a single worksheet with photos. And the school has to buy additional materials such as magnets, copper wires and blades.
We follow the photo. It's hard to make. The materials are not easy to buy and we might not be skillful enough to make the product they require, so it's difficult. If they can suggest what else could be done after the motor is made, I think that'd be more effective.
Making motors, I'm not sure whether that would be the most attractive or interesting activity that a small child would think about.
Toby Yu is in Form 3 at the Chinese YMCA College in Ma On Shan. He takes STEM as a standalone subject with its own grades.
We'll combine computer studies with 3D drawing and mathematics because we have to calculate using the lightest material to carry the most weight.
The school has 3 3D printers for 390 students in Form 3.
I think it isn't enough. I want to print. Other classmates also want to print, so we have to wait. A few days or weeks because printing takes a long time. Sometimes when I design a model and want to try it in different interior designs, I have to print several models, and that might be impossible.
To develop STEM education, the government last year allocated $100,000 for 2 years for primary schools, and this year $200,000 for secondary schools. Toby's school hasn't received the money, but has already spent around $180,000. $6,800 for 40 microbits used to write computer programs, $60,000 for 45 virtual reality goggles, 3 3D printers costing $60,000, and $53,200 for miscellaneous expenses.
It's not enough to provide enough technology or hardware for our students. We want the government to give us the funding for recurrent use per year.
The purpose of disbursement of the one-off grants to a school is to provide incentive for the school to kickstart new initiative and also to enhance the existing STEM projects. So if in any years school would like to have extra funding support, well, school are welcome to apply for the Quality Education Fund.
The Education Quality Fund has been financing school projects since 1997.
Right now it's piecemeal, but I think what we need is a wholesome strategy, continuity in teaching resources, support.
We have a long way to go to the STEM education.
For junior and secondary students, STEM covers a wide range of subjects and can help students when they go to high school to choose subjects. If he thinks he likes science subjects, he will choose related elective subjects and develop in that area.
Students have to choose at least 2 elective subjects in high school. Toby Yu's dream is to become an engineer.
Using a 3D printer to make the bridge has aroused my interest in architecture.
He tries doing his own building designs.
If in future I have to test some parts of the building structure, 3D printing can help. Having a sample is always better than just thinking about it without making a concrete model.
He says he'll choose physics, chemistry, or information and communication technology in high school.
Using STEM activities to uncover my own interests, I can plan clearly for the future.
Coming up after the break, textbooks lag behind street smarts.
It's quite fascinating that they could actually put such outdated concepts and technology into our books.
STEM might provide knowledge, but what about livelihood?
When I want to pursue my dream in science, I have to think of the financial burden.
Stay with us. Welcome back to the Pearl Report. Hong Kong's public school curriculum is geared to preparing students for the Diploma of Secondary Education exam. DSE results are crucial for university enrollment. But even as schools are encouraged to boost science, technology, engineering and maths, producer Annie Lau finds waning interest among students in STEM-related careers. Vito Ching is a Form 5 student in Po Leung Kok An Po Ling College in To Kwa Wan. Vito and his classmates have invented a new oil-absorbing product that can be used for marine oil spills.
When we look into the news of those oil disasters, there haven't been effective ways to solve this kind of problem. They might just burn all those oil that leak onto the ocean, or they use some toxic chemical to recover those oil, which is bring a huge threat to the environment. We make use of coconut, lemon, and sugar to produce our product.
The ester is in the form of a gel.
1 unit volume of our ester can absorb up to 5 unit volume of oil. Since ester and oil do not react, both the ester and oil can be used after squeezed out by centrifugation or high pressure on our molecule.
We have done over 100 times to prove that our product is efficient. At first, we are trying to use some lab materials. For example, octanoic acid. We figure out their cost will be much higher and it might be harmful to us.
Octanoic acid costs about $700 a kilogram and is toxic and corrosive. For this project, Vito says they tried to find a new substance to accelerate the absorption.
Normally, we need to use sulfuric acid as a catalyst. Now we are using lipase that is more environmentally friendly, and this method is not mentioned in the book.
Textbooks from the Hong Kong school curriculum culminating in the Diploma of Secondary Education exam.
In DSE curriculum, we mainly remember some knowledge and some question types that will appear in our exam. and we try to get high marks in examination. It's not enough.
Besides the 4 core subjects of Chinese, English, mathematics, and liberal studies, students have to take at least 2 electives for the DSE. Vito has chosen chemistry, physics, biology, and advanced mathematics module 1 that includes calculus and statistics. He's now thinking of dropping M1.
It's occupying my time. My result now is not satisfactory. I have to spend more time in those core subjects to make me have a higher chance to get into university.
Entering university requires level 3 for languages and level 2 for maths and liberal studies. Advanced maths M1 and M2 aren't considered a core or elective subject.
The students are spending too much time on the core subjects. Okay, the teaching hours, more than 60% is on the core subjects. They do not have time to study sort of science subjects M1 and M2.
Around 60% of science students took advanced maths in 2009-10, compared with just 34% of students in 2015-16.
That is very much felt by the university community, that our STEM preparation provided by the secondary schools seems to be deteriorating from previous generations. Even those that are accepted to science or engineering subjects, they have to take a lot of remedial courses to pursue an undergraduate education.
In 2012, 43% of DSE students did not take any science subjects. In 2016, it was 46%.
Many high school students now, even though they may be interested in, say, physics, okay, or high-level mathematics, they know it's quite difficult to obtain good grades, so they will have to make a sacrifice. This seems to be quite a pity, especially we are now looking for STEM talents.
You know, they have interest, they have hand-on experience, but when it comes to examination, taking subjects, they get, oh, let's focus. Let's go back to the core subjects.
Vito and classmates' oil-absorbing product beat almost 4,000 entries to win the Hong Kong Youth Science and Technology Innovation Competition. They'll compete in the Intel International Science and Engineering Fair in the US next month. If they win, they'll have a planet named after them, an honor bestowed previously on Hong Kong whiz kid Stark Chan. Stark now runs a software systems company, but despite his talent, Vito is worried about a career in science.
I have the whim to become a researcher. For example, I can work in the cyberport and the science park. However, that kind of job really have a very high competition.
In last year's Career Expo at Science Park, about 5,000 applicants competed for 1,000 jobs.
Hong Kong provides us opportunities, but it is not enough.
This year, Hong Kong signed a deal with Shenzhen to build an innovation and technology park at the Lok Ma Chau Loop.
Many mainland technicians or scientists are going to compete with us, so that it didn't really help to raise the chance that I can get a satisfactory job.
About 10% of the 10,000 workers at Science Park are mainlanders.
I have to think of the financial burden and the future path.
When they have so good results, of course their family want them to work better in Hong Kong.
In 2013, fresh university graduates in science made about $200,000 a year on average, while those in medicine, dentistry and healthcare earned nearly $400,000.
Students with better academic achievements or chose medicine or even business.
With the number of graduates in astronomy, as well as physics and maths, falling below 20 in the past 5 years, Hong Kong University plans to abolish those two majors starting in the 2018-19 academic year.
I think more resources could be provided by the government. They should also encourage, after students graduate from a science degree, what kinds of things that they can do.
Also at the Hong Kong Youth Science and Technology Innovation Competition were Adrian Wong, Wong Not Him, and He Yifei, competing in the information and communication technology sector with their invention of a mobile app called Cardio Debug. The app checks users' autonomic nervous system, ANS, by tracking their HRV or heart rate variability.
Hong Kong people have a higher possibility of getting ANS disorder, and it will cause poor digestion.
HRV is a suitable bioindicator for checking one's health state of ANS. So here's our ad. The user only have to press their finger on the camera like this, and they can analyze and get the HRV result. 如果你有问题，它就会弹出来一个像那样的提示，然后你就可以去选择这某种运动，然后我每天就做这种运动。
The app also tracks users' regimen of exercises and any improvement in their HRV.
We will try to start our program here.
Adrian Wong says Hong Kong schools' information and communication technology curriculum did not help their invention.
Actually, to me, it's quite fascinating that they could actually put such outdated concepts and technology into our book.
For instance, to write their app, they used a computer language called Swift that is not taught in their ICT classes.
Our teacher has been trying to integrate this language into our courses. The curriculum has restricted him. It has also restricted us from exploring this language more.
Students might be already exposed to the latest tools, but when they go back to school and study that particular subject, they find that it is so outdated. Many of them ended up not choosing computer science when they enter university.
The government says in 2015 it updated computer programming in the ICT curriculum. For instance, students can trace and test an algorithm by using computer languages such as Scratch and Reptor.
We use either two new languages, MATLAB and Python. However, the curriculum, of course, does not name names on these algorithms. So we will have to learn these programming languages ourselves on the internet. You might think that you're learning this new kind of subject and just end up listening to child's play and things that we don't use.
The most important element in carrying out STEM education is the collaboration between the government, the technological and the education sector. The education sector can understand what the technological sector is going towards in, let's say, 20 years' time, and then so they can prepare what they should emphasize in the education system.
Well, thank you for watching our show. It will be re-aired on Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday, as well as on TVB.com. Until next time, from the Pearl Report team, good night, good luck, and good health.